The internet is often presented as a place of endless information, where every question has an answer and every mystery can eventually be explained. But buried beneath the surface, far away from search engines and polished social media feeds, there are corners of the web that operate very differently. Places where people speak without names, without reputations, and often without consequences. 4chan is one of those places. It's a forum built on anonymity, where posts disappear quickly, where stories are rarely archived properly, and where truth and fiction exist side by side in a way that makes them almost impossible to separate. Most of the time, it's noise, jokes, arguments, nonsense, and bait. But every so often, something slips through that feels different. Something written with a level of detail, fear, or certainty that doesn't feel performative. The B board on 4chan is known for shock value. People threaten violence there every day just to get a reaction. It's the boy who cried wolf on a global scale. But on April of 2013, a post pops up that would leave a disturbing mark on real world. Hey B, it's time. My name is Neil McInnes, and I go to New River Community College in Christiansburg, Virginia, 10 minutes away from Virginia Tech. I'm going to give you all the details because the news never gets it right. Right away, that's unusual. Most anonymous posters don't give their real names, and they definitely don't give their exact location. On 4chan, anonymity is the point. But Neil didn't seem interested in hiding. If anything, he sounded like someone trying to make sure the record was accurate. Stevens 320 shotgun, buckshots and slugs. No metaphors nor any threats. Just the name of a firearm and the ammunition, written the way someone would write items on a checklist. Want to listen? Click this link. If that doesn't work, search New River Valley Public Safety. I'm a bit nervous because I've never really handled a shotgun, except a few times with the Christiansburg police. Anyways, this is not a high scores game, but actually a lesson. That's why I'm at school. Also, click related. I'm here at school writing this. Wish me luck. At the time, many readers did what 4chan users usually do. They mocked it, questioned it, or ignored it entirely. Posts like this appear often enough that skepticism becomes automatic. People assumed it was a troll trying to scare others, or someone playing out a fantasy that would end the moment the thread died. But this one didn't end there. The next day, local news outlets began reporting a real incident. A shooting had occurred at the New River Valley Mall in southwestern Virginia. 2 women had been wounded. The suspect was taken into custody, and the name released by police was the same name used in the post. Neil McInnes, 18 years old, a student at New River Community College. He was charged with 2 counts of malicious wounding and 2 counts of using a firearm in the commission of a felony. Police later acknowledged that investigators were aware of an online post that appeared to foreshadow the attack, though they did not officially confirm its origin at the time. The most unsettling part of this story isn't that someone announced what they were about to do online. Unfortunately, that has happened before. What makes this different is how plainly it was done. how little effort there was to dramatize it, and how easily it blended in with everything else on the board. Fortunately, he didn't end up killing anyone, and the incident ended there. This was written in 2013, over 10 years ago, and it predicts our current reality with terrifying accuracy. There will be no collapse the way some of these people think of it. It's not going to be like the movie Dawn of the Dead or whatever, where one day suddenly shit hits the fan and prices skyrocket and everyone begins to riot and the SS comes marching down the street to kill everyone. There will be no happening. It's far more insidious than that. Read the poem The Hollow Men by Thomas Stearns Eliot and you'll understand. You'll just notice that every day, simple things will become a little more expensive. Everyone's homes and apartments will start to get smaller. Your work hours will get longer, but your pay will decrease. You'll see family and friends less, and find that in time, you care less about them. Every day, you'll find yourself lowering your standards for everything. Work, food, relationships, etc. Job security will no longer exist as a concept. You'll notice houses and apartments shrinking. People will start hanging on to clothing longer and longer. Less people will get married. Even less will have children. People will engross themselves in technological distractions and fantasy, while never truly experiencing the real world. Whatever dream people used to have about what their lives were going to be will become for them a distant memory. The only thing left for them will be the reality of their debt and their poverty. And every minute of every day they will be told, "You are stupid, ugly, and weak. But together we are free, prosperous, and safe." That is the collapse. The reduction of the American man into a feudal serf, incapable of feeling love or hate, incapable of seeing the pitiful nature of his situation for what it is, or recognizing his own self-worth. This is a very powerful, somewhat haunting piece of text that resonates deeply with the current economic climate. Shrinkflation, gig economy, housing crisis. It taps into the feeling of boiling the frog, a slow decline rather than a sudden explosion. For some reason, this to me is more haunting than any supernatural things I've heard here. For decades, there have been countless so-called real leaks about UFOs. Former military officials have hinted at secret programs. Anonymous insiders have claimed knowledge of recovered craft. And blurry documents have circulated online, each one promising to finally explain what is really happening in our skies. Most of these leaks fade away almost as quickly as they appear, either debunked, forgotten, or exposed as exaggerations that crumble under closer inspection. But there's one leak that has been one of the most talked about, and which many believe to be a real whistleblower. In April of 2023, an anonymous poster appeared in X claiming to have direct, first-hand knowledge of what the United States government really knows about UFOs. "I have intimate knowledge of what the US currently knows about UFOs minus the last 2 years. UFOs are primarily unmanned drones. UFOs are built to spec each time they are deployed. UFOs are created by a mobile construction facility that hides in the ocean. Construction facility destroys anything that comes close to it and will disappear for days when approached aggressively. US believes the facility has been active on Earth for at least 100 years or much longer. Fire away on questions. I'll answer what I can. You won't be disappointed. After this, OP goes on to answer almost every question that was asked in the post. It's a lot to go through, so I'm not going to show every one of them, but I am going to go through some that I found interesting and is related to the question on the details of the UFO. What is the main body of government that is collecting information on UFOs? The Department of Defense? If so, which branch is the most active in collection of information? It doesn't officially exist, and I won't use the internal name on here either. What about biological entities? Are all UFOs come from the same source? I think there's probably more factions/groups of them. The US seems to believe, so yes. There have been encounters, but my information is limited since my specialty lies elsewhere. Does this have any relation to Oumuamua? No. Is there a working theory on the origins? If so, care to elaborate? Quite a bit, but we think the construction facility has been around since at least 4000 BC. See sightings or paintings from the early eras of history. Has any form of intelligible communication been established? Yes, it also depends on your viewpoint. They mostly want very little to do with us until we start to talk about war and nuclear options. It's one of the reasons why you see them so often at critical events. Do they know who or what is creating these craft? Yes, as mentioned earlier, the Mobile Construction Unit is responsible for their deployment and construction. Any potential that they are made by a higher branch of the US government? Absolutely not. What allows them to fly so fast? What technology? Gravity manipulation and the materials they are constructed from. They are piloted by an undersea intelligence, aren't they? We think the construction unit is driven by AI. The response time to threats is almost instant, and usually very calculated and well thought out. The majority of UFOs, as I mentioned previously, are built to spec and purpose. This is why they are always different sizes. The contents and equipment usually mimic the intended purpose too. Is it related to that one under rock in that one Scandinavian country? The one that deploys within tectonic spaces? No, this one almost never leaves the Bermuda Triangle. What are its purposes? Surveillance of humans? The US believes they are not here to harm us. They only seem interested in us once they realize we are destroying things around us, including each other. One of the officials in charge said something that stuck with me. They act like keepers of a zoo, uninterested in the daily life of wildlife until there's a problem. Are they friends? They cut their losses when crashes are recovered. Same with personnel. Zookeepers aren't friends with the animals. Do you know if the entities behind the UFOs are native to the Earth? Like an older civilization, breakaway civilization, or a civilization of humans that escaped a previous cycle of cataclysm due to their advanced tech? Limited expertise since my role is more craft and analysis. US believes they are foreign to our world. A previous cataclysm could make sense. They also show up in times of strife, such as natural events. How about the destination of the space orbs? Is Jupiter a potential destination? I believe they are keeping a massive orb inside of the gas giant, though I have no evidence, but many dreams of it. No idea if it is a project. I haven't seen it. No orbs out of the construction facility, just UFOs. Why do you not know anything about the last 2 years? Just curious. Moved on from the project because of new management that didn't trust older, proven methods. Are there more than one construction facility? You mentioned one in the Bermuda Triangle. However, there are a lot of USOs off of the west coast of the Americas as well. Any insight? I suspect there may be, since we only watch the Atlantic Ocean, and the UFOs we track normally don't stray far from home base. Asking about it would have been a bad move. Can you tell us what they look like physically? Usual grey type or big ears? Imagine the typical greys you see on TV. I've seen 2 corpses, so maybe they're a different species, but I've never laid eyes on another. What do you believe to be the reason for the uptick in sightings? Once again, my knowledge was cut off about 2 years ago. If you mean very recently, my guess would be the Russians and US having a little secret dance amongst themselves. When nuclear anything gets involved, we see large deployments for long periods of time. Strife seems to be the catalyst. How are you able to talk about any of this? Didn't you swear to secrecy? Yes, liver cancer sucks. Wouldn't the government already have their eye on you, considering you could turn out to be a loose end? I'm not going on national TV or radio. I'm on a 4chan board. I'm sure they look at stuff like this, but cancer makes you a little feel different. Also, did you or your co-workers experience strange things outside of work that could have been related to what you saw? No. Usually, most people working there had no prior interest in UFOs, or at least feigned not having interest. There's a whole long other Q&A that I didn't show, but I am going to leave the link in the description so you are free to check it out if you are interested. Some believe it may be the closest thing to a genuine insider account of the UFOs we've ever seen. Others believe it's an incredibly well-crafted piece of fiction, and many are still undecided. Whatever the case, this post would go on to become one of the most discussed alleged UFO leaks on the internet.